So you have been suffering emotionally. Life is getting tough for you. You are seeking answers, but you find yourself stuck on a hamster wheel, thinking that you are healing and growing, but life throws another challenge at you and you find yourself back at square one. Can you relate? So in this video, I will go over why you need to work on healing yourself. As a higher conscious being, it is so crucial that you take responsibility in your hand to heal your emotional wounds and pain from within. Creating space for others. As a light worker, a chosen one, it is so important that you create space, elevated space for people to express themselves. And being this energy, this consciousness, this higher being, you have to have this elevated energy so that you can hold space for others. You can hold space for people who are suffering. This is why it's so important that you work on healing yourself so that you have the ability to hold space. If you are yourself suffering, it will be very difficult to hold space for others. The thing is, you cannot lead from an empty cup. So in order for you to be in this higher energy, higher consciousness, higher awareness, being connected to the creator of all that is, it is so important that you are filling your cup first. You are filling yourself with all the healing and really releasing all the limitation, really releasing all these pain and wounds and traumas which you've been holding on to and which you have suffered over the years. You have to let it go. You have to be in the space of healing. So that only happens when you work on yourself. You have to work on yourself in order to release all these baggage, release all these crutches which you've been holding on to for so long. Until you don't do that, you would not be able to hold a space for anyone else. You will actually get triggered and irritated and frustrated by other people because you feel like everybody is bringing pain to you, everybody is being mean to you, everybody is being very difficult because other people, everybody is dealing with their own issues, traumas, insecurities, pain. And especially if you are a light worker, if you are higher conscious being, what happens, those people who are unhealed, they get attracted to you. So you have a greater responsibility to hold a space for others. And if you haven't dealt with your own issues, your own pain, you will not be able to hold space for anybody else, right? So it is important that you do that. The next point I want to make is you are sensitive to energies. Being a light worker, being a higher conscious being, being in this highest awareness, you are very sensitive to other people's energy. You are empathic. You are going to absorb other people's energy, right? And if you are suffering, if you are in emotionally weak position, it will be even more easy for you to absorb other people's energy, other people's pain, other people's negativity. You will start taking that in and you will start thinking that is this pain is yours, even though it might be somebody else's. And that's such a revelation for me when I've found that out, when I felt like I was taking other people's pain within me and not realizing, not becoming aware that it's not mine. It's not mine because I am highly sensitive, because I'm empathic. I am able to take other people's energy unconsciously, not consciously, but back in the days, unconsciously taking other people's pain and thinking this is my own. And that made me suffer even more because I was not aware. So it is so important to become aware of your sensitivity. so that you can work and prime yourself accordingly. You can prime your energy, your aura, you can heal yourself so that you are not taking other people's pain and thinking that it's your own. Having that awareness and detachment is so important for people like yourself. Being a chosen one, being in this highest energy, highest consciousness, it is so important that you become aware of this, because if you're not aware, you will keep attracting and taking the pain of others, thinking that it's your own, and suffering. So, releasing that kind of feeling, releasing that kind of attachment with others, understanding and having the awareness of that their pain is not your pain. And that happens when you start healing yourself. That happens, that awareness, that consciousness, that understanding comes in when you start working on yourself. This is why, as a light worker, it's so important for you to work on healing yourself. If you are getting consistently sick and tired, feel emotionally drained, feel that you are, even though everything is possibly fine, but you find yourself really negative, finding yourself drained, finding yourself in pain, recognize that it may be, become aware of your environment, become aware what kind of people you are hanging out with, what kind of conversation happening with those people, what kind of stories you are taking in from those people, what kind of information they're sharing with you, that maybe even though your life may be fine, but you find yourself drained and very often getting sick, then that means you are taking other people's energy in you and not realizing that that's what making you sick, not realizing that's what maybe making you suffer. So become aware that how you are interacting, who is around you, what kind of conversation are happening around you, any kind of gossip, complaint, any kind of negative conversation, anybody else is suffering, are they sharing with you, how you are taking that in, is that affecting you? Become aware of all of that, because that would really teach you that what is happening outside of you and how is that affecting you from within. And once you become aware, you can detach, you can heal yourself, you can release those kind of attachment with other people and really seriously commit in working on yourself, really seriously commit to transforming your life, because you are becoming aware and you are evolving. And this is the period of highest consciousness, and people are evolving, becoming more aware and aware. And because you are higher conscious being, because you are a light worker, naturally you would have those kind of awareness, understanding, and if there is anything which you're not aware of, hopefully this video will give you that awareness. You are a healer. Light workers, chosen ones, higher conscious being have natural ability to heal. Whether you are aware of it, whether you are not aware of it. You have intuitive guidance, insights, and it all depends on how much you have worked on yourself. If you haven't worked on yourself at all, so your intuitive guidance may be very weak. But if you have been working on yourself, if you have elevated yourself, if you have evolved yourself and your awareness has expanded, then your intuitive abilities would have expanded. So it's very much depends on how aware you are. You are spiritually very connected. So you naturally would have ability to connect to God, creator of all that is, universe, higher source, whatever you believe in, how you believe in, you would have the ability to connect. And that would allow you to naturally have this healing energy and power within you. However, if you are suffering, if you are in pain, if you haven't dealt with your own issues, if you haven't dealt with your challenges, if you haven't dealt with your trauma, your emotional pain, then you will be suffering. You will be suffering because you're not aware of your own gifts. You're not aware of your own abilities, because of all this pain, all these challenges, all this suffering has blocked your intuitive abilities, has blocked your intuitive guidance and that connection with the creator, because you have been in this pain and you feel like a victim. So somebody who's a chosen one, who's a light worker, they have to really release this feeling of victimhood. You are not a victim. You have been here on this planet for a purpose. And if you are not aware of your own purpose and why you are here, and instead of really becoming aware and embodying these gifts, and you are blaming yourself, or you're blaming your spiritual abilities or spiritual awakening awareness, then you will suffer even more, because you have been born with a purpose. That's why you have these intuitive abilities. That's why you have these healing abilities. But instead of utilizing it, you are blaming others, or you're blaming yourself. You are hating your life. You are hating why you are aware, why you are conscious. If you are in this zone of negativity and you're cultivating these negative energies, then you are actually disservicing yourself and other people. Because if you have the healing abilities, if you are intuitive, if you are able to have the wisdom and insights, and you get that information, instead of utilizing that effectively, you are blaming others, you are blaming yourself, you're being self-critical, you are doubting your abilities, you're doubting your life, you are suffering and in pain, then you are actually not utilizing your full self. You're not actually utilizing what you have been given. So it is so important to recognize this and become aware of it, so that you can release all this feeling of victimhood, but actually embracing your gifts and your abilities, so that you can give, serve people, humanity, be the space for others, be in this light-hearted energy and joyful energy, because you've healed yourself, because you've gone through healing, you've released all the trauma, pain, emotional suffering, and you are aligned with who you are, you're aligned with your vision, and then you can celebrate who you are. This is why it's so important that you work on healing yourself. So, a few spots have been opened up to be coached by me. If you are suffering with burnout and emotional exhaustion and ready to be committed to let go of limiting beliefs and emotional pain, then apply to coaching with me on my website, which I will link it below for you to apply. But please make sure you only apply if you are seriously committed in your growth and you can financially invest. I am receiving a lot of application, but due to limited capacity, I can only work with few people at a time. So please make sure you only apply if you're seriously committed and financially can invest in your growth, in your transformation, to become this healed version of yourself, to let go of limitation. That's when you can really utilize your gift which has been given to you. So like this video if you like this video, and subscribe to my channel. This is the next video you should watch, and this is about why chosen ones are frustrating others. Watch it if you are a light worker and a conscious being, and if you want to know why other people are getting frustrated by you, do watch that video. I'll see you in the next video.